It's another huge week in sports, so let's talk about it. Let's talk some sports and let's talk some sports cards. This is The Forecast. Sports card investors, I'm Amber Wilson, and if you're new around here, this is the show where we normally look ahead at the weekend sports. We talk about some of the upcoming matchups, and I tell you what they might mean for the hobby. This show, though, I'm going to do things a little bit differently because I want to talk some baseball, but at the time of taping, the championship series are not set, so I can't really look ahead to Sunday and tell you about the upcoming matchup. What I can do is talk about the divisional series, and specifically, I want to talk some Yankees-Rays. So we're going to take, I guess, a look back, so to speak, right now, and then a little later, we'll look ahead, we'll talk some NFL. Let's first, of course, start baseball, and I do want to remind you guys before I get into this that all of the charts that you see on today's episode, they're all available on our Market Movers data platform. So to find out more and to subscribe, make sure to go to sportscardinvestor.com, click Market Movers in the main menu bar. There's a wealth of information there. I don't want you guys to miss out on it. So let's talk New York Yankees. Now, everyone knows that the Yanks have a huge fan following, and this year there are so many different investment narratives playing out at once regarding the hobby. So let's talk about the biggest names on this team. And Garrett Cole, of course, was the big offseason acquisition for the New York Yankees. 9 years, $324 million. Now, when you pay a guy that kind of money, the question is it going to be worth it? Is it going to work out? And it appears that Cole is holding up his end of the bargain. In a shortened regular season, he had 7 wins, 3 losses, a 2.84 ERA. He pitched very well so far in the postseason. His 2013 Topps Chrome Update Base PSA 10 over the last 90 days is up 26% in value. So Cole is holding up his end of the bargain for the Yanks, and he's also holding up his end of the bargain so far for the card hobby. Giancarlo Stanton, speaking of big acquisitions, Giancarlo Stanton was the major headline back in 2018 after he hit his 59 homer eruption with the Marlins the preceding season. I'm very familiar with Giancarlo as a sports radio host down here in Miami, but of course now he's wearing the pinstripes, and in both uniforms, he's had problems with injuries. Health has been a big problem for him in New York. He played just 23 games this year, and that's after barely playing any in 2019. In the playoffs, though, so far, he has hit some bombs, and he's still Giancarlo Stanton when he is out there and healthy. His 2010 Topps Chrome Base PSA 10 over the last 90 days is up 160% in value. So if he can stay healthy and maybe make some waves here as the playoffs continue, at least here at the time of taping, then of course I would imagine his card value will continue to be helped by that. Aaron Judge, however, a slugger going the wrong direction in terms of his card value. Another young guy who has health issues, and when he has played, he's underperformed. Now, he missed half of this season due to injury, and so far in the playoffs, frankly, he hasn't been all that impressive trying to bounce back from an injury-ridden season. So his 2013 Bauman Chrome Draft Base PSA 10 over the last 90 days is down 25% in value. I don't know if Aaron Judge will be able to turn things around. It depends, of course, what happens here moving forward. Can he hit some of those bombs that we're seeing out of Giancarlo? Luke Voit, one of the AL MVP frontrunners, was the surprise of the season for the Yankees. If you bought Voit more than a month ago, now's a good time to sell because he's up 89% over the last 30 days and significantly more than that if you had the foresight to buy Voit even earlier. But if the Yankees keep winning, and if Voit wins the MVP, then you will see his prices climb even more. His 2017 Topps Update Base PSA 10 over the last 90 days Luke Voigt's card is up 608% in value. Woo! That's a lot of value for a player that a lot of people didn't see coming. So I mentioned I want to talk a little Tampa Bay Rays as well, and I want to talk about Austin Meadows on the Rays. He's a 25-year-old left fielder. He had a fantastic 2019, but this season, he barely cleared the Mendoza line, batting just .205, 4 homers. His card prices have reflected that performance. They're down more than 40% in the past 2 months alone. Over the last 90 days, his card is down 36% in value. If you believe in Meadows long-term, now might be a good opportunity to buy low. And of course, we're looking at his 2018 Topps Update Base PSA 10. That's the card setting the price in the market. Brandon Lau has been a bright spot for the Tampa Bay Rays. He led all second basemen in the majors with 14 homers, but so far in the playoffs at the time of taping, he has yet to go deep. If the Rays are going to have a chance here moving forward, then they would need to get more out of Lau. 2019 Topps Chrome Base PSA 10 is his card to look for, and over the last 90 days, his card is up 260% in value. No matter what happens here, he's trending the right direction in terms of the hobby. I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. Do it right now if you haven't done it already. It's so easy. You just click the bell icon. So give us a subscribe, please. I really, really appreciate your support. I told you I'd talk some NFL. I told you I'd look ahead. This is the forecast after all, so let's go ahead and switch sports. And I'm going to talk some NFL games that might surprise you. They're not the most exciting NFL games ever, but there's still some people to talk about in terms of the hobby, which is what matters here. Let's talk my Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, in terms of the Dolphins, there's not much to talk about in terms of the card market. The only guy to talk about is a guy who's not playing for the Miami Dolphins, and you're not going to see him this weekend in this game either. They've already named Ryan Fitzpatrick the starter, so you're not going to see Tua Tagovailoa. And yes, I'm saying Tua's last name properly. That's how he says it. Go research it. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, those guys are out there making names for themselves. Now, we expected that out of Joe Burrow. Of course, Justin Herbert, the Chargers were forced into that situation. If Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down with an injury, or God forbid if the team doctor injures Ryan Fitzpatrick, like what happened out there with Tyrod Taylor, then you'd see Tua. But I've been saying on Miami Sports Radio for the last few months to buckle up, because it's going to be a minute before we see Tua Tagovailoa. I knew that we wouldn't see him through these first few weeks of the season. Frankly, this is the long-term plan for the Dolphins, and there's just no reason to rush him out there. This Dolphins team has problems well beyond Tua. Go ahead, you let that O-line gel. You have some rookies on that line. You go ahead and you give them the opportunity to gel while they're protecting Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's not your future, and also doesn't have the injury history that Tua's coming off of. And you give them that opportunity before you put Tua under center and expect them to protect Tua Tagovailoa. Your entire future is riding on the future, essentially, of Tua, right? That's the future of your franchise. So there's no reason to rush him out there yet. The Dolphins probably aren't winning, regardless of Tua. I mean, really winning, even if they win this game against a bad 49ers team. Tua's 2020 Donruss base raw over the last 30 days is down 63% in value. It's down because he's not playing, and people are getting tired of him not playing in the hobby. That might mean a buying opportunity. We expect at some point here those cards to flatten out, that card value. That might mean a good buying opportunity for Tua Tagovailoa's cards. He is going to see the field one of these days, guys. And if Tua's awesome when we finally do see him play, then of course his card value is going to shoot right up. The 49ers, they have a guy under center who is playing and is worth talking about in Jimmy Garoppolo. We will actually see him on Sunday. And personally, I don't mind seeing Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jimmy G, he was all the rage in the hobby when he was with the Patriots. He was expected to, of course, be the heir apparent to Tom Brady. And then Brady played another year and then another year. And and then another year. And I think at this point, we're pretty certain Brady's never, ever retiring. He might just die on that field. Also, it doesn't seem like he's ever aging with the way that he played last weekend. Nevertheless, Jimmy G, people started to lose interest in him throughout the hobby because he wasn't getting that opportunity. Then, of course, came the trade with the 49ers. It created some renewed buzz for his cards. He had a tremendous amount of success with the 49ers in a relatively short period of time, including, of course, a trip to the Super Bowl last year. However, Jimmy G is seen as more of a game manager. And being seen as a game manager instead of a big-time quarterback doesn't ultimately help your card value. And it's reflected here in Jimmy G's. His 2014 Topps Chrome base PSA 10 over the last 90 days is down 14% in value. You would need Jimmy Garoppolo to show you that he, in fact, can be the man. And so far this season, that doesn't appear to be happening. The 49ers have been hit hard by the injury bug. A lot of teams have been hit hard by the injury bug. I mean, the 49ers are missing their best corners. They're missing their pass rushers. They have really caught that injury bug hard. I don't know if it's not having a preseason, but this has been a huge problem in the NFL. George Kittle is a guy who is one of Jimmy G's favorite targets, and he's absolutely phenomenal. And he is out there doing monster things, okay? He is not injured. Against the Eagles, he had 15 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown. Because Kittle wasn't a high draft pick, he doesn't actually have any base rookie cards in the major products, like Prism and Select. However, he did have a Contenders rookie ticket auto, and that's become the go-to card that sets the market for him. His 2017 Contenders rookie ticket auto raw over the last 90 days is up 58% in value. George Kittle is the bright spot for the San Francisco 49ers. I want to talk about another matchup that maybe not the most exciting matchup in the NFL, but again, some people to talk about here. I want to talk Panthers Falcons. And Teddy Bridgewater, everyone thought Bridgewater's career was over when he suffered that injury with Minnesota. Then he rebuilt his career, bought himself a ticket as a starter to Carolina. Now he's going into the season where there was a lot of optimism brewing around his cards, but through 4 games so far, he hasn't knocked anyone's socks off with his performances. And so his cards are becoming reflective of that. His 2014 Topps Chrome base PSA 10 over the last 30 days is down 46% in value. Christian McCaffrey, likely the number 1 pick in everyone's fantasy football leagues. And of course, that helps your card prices. Fantasy football actually does help your card prices if you're being drafted at the top of everyone's leagues. Unfortunately, then, the injury bug, like it's biting everyone, it bit Christian McCaffrey. And he had that ankle injury in week 2. That impacted his card prices directly. His 2017 Prism Silver PSA 10 over the last 30 days is down 43% due to injury. This is why we have this show, because I want to be able to tell you how these matchups and game to game, how card values can be affected. In the NFL, we're seeing it all over the place this season because of this issue that we're having with injuries. It's got to be because we didn't have a preseason. The Falcons, they're terrible this year. However, they've had some tough losses. It is a hard year to be a Falcons fan. I feel bad for everybody at Sports Card Investor because I think we have a lot of Falcons fans on staff since it's located in Atlanta. The base is in Atlanta. Matt Ryan, of course, though, he continues to post incredible numbers as a quarterback. He continues to ascend all of his stats. I mean, the Falcons are off to a terrible, terrible start, but it has nothing to do with Matt Ryan. His 2008 Topps Chrome base PGS 9.5 over the last 90 days is down 5% in value. That's hardly anything. Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan, no matter what's happening with the team. Todd Gurley. Now, Todd Gurley was one of the hottest players in football, of course, just a couple years ago. and then he has the knee injuries. It happens to his position, and it really derailed his career. The Rams end up releasing Todd Gurley. Then, of course, the Falcons swoop in. They sign him on a one-year deal. There was some enthusiasm around him regarding his return, and nobody really knew what to make of the expectations for him moving forward coming off the injury. His 2015 Topps Chrome base PSA 10 over the last 30 days is dead even. Zero change in either direction. Todd Gurley's had some good games. I'm not sure people quite know what to make of Todd Gurley, though, in the long run here, so his card value isn't seeing much fluctuation. Julio Jones. Now, he's likely going to go down as one of the great wide receivers of the 21st century. He's currently 23rd in all-time receiving yards. He's going to likely pass Brandon Marshall for 22nd if he can get at least 14 yards in this game on Sunday. He's really starting to enter that potential Hall of Fame area around his career. So his 2011 Topps Chrome base PSA 10 over the last 90 days is up 332% in value. So even though the Falcons are having some troubles and they haven't gotten the wins, Julio Jones's card value is trending up at a rapid rate. And he is joined by his teammate Calvin Ridley in that department. Calvin Ridley is a guy who's looking to become the next Julio Jones. And some early season success so far has his cards going crazy. His 2018 Prism base PSA 10 over the last 90 days is up 761% in value. Yes, 761% in value. Calvin Ridley's cards are going nuts. Now, this matchup against a pretty bad team. I mean, both of these matchups that I'm talking about, they're not anything to write home about in terms of the NFL. But sometimes when not so great teams play other not so great teams, it can help make some of these individuals shine. And that's what we're looking for this Sunday in the card market. Again, all of the charts you guys saw throughout this entire episode, they all came from our Market Movers data platform. I tell you about it every week. To find out more, please subscribe. You go check out sportscardinvestor.com. You click Market Movers in the main menu bar. And also, don't forget to subscribe here as well to this channel if you haven't done so already. You click the bell icon. It's as easy as that. Happy sports, guys. Happy sports card investing. Thanks for watching. Follow me on social media, AmberW790, because I host middays right now on 790 The Ticket in Miami. If you didn't know, so my IG, my Twitter, it's all AmberW790. Give me a follow. I always love to see you guys, and I'll see you guys again next Thursday. Thanks for watching.